All right, I am live now. I'm first going to send my text message. Let me send my text message really quick. I gotta get the I've gotta get the live. Oh my God, how cool! It just pops up on my business page. That is so fun. First going to mute myself. Okay. We are, just in case you guys have been following my personal profile. If not, feel free to friend me on Facebook because, dude, I am going on the adventure of a lifetime. So day after tomorrow, we are moving out of this house. So I am currently live from the floor of my studio, well, my old studio, which was previously the guest room. I'm on the floor because there's actually, we've packed everything up. So this is actually just two boards sitting behind me. Like, they're literally right here. I got to be very careful. If they fall over, it's going to take me forever to get them back up again because they're literally balanced perfectly right now. So we are moving to Plymouth, and we don't have our house until November. So we are going to be moving to Yarmouth to stay in an Airbnb for 4 weeks, and then we're moving into the house in Plymouth on November 15th. So day after tomorrow, my life is about to completely change. I am going into completely uncharted territory. I felt myself getting a little anxious saying that. I'm just going to say my body definitely responded in that moment to like, oh my God, she's going to be doing all this new stuff. We're going to die, right? Oh, primal brain, stop. But so exciting. It's so exciting. I feel really weird because I've never done anything like this before, where I was literally just snipping away junk from my past, emotionally, physically, mentally, work-wise, like you just name it, just snipping these threads, right? And deciding what things I want to take with me in this next chapter of my life. And I've never been so conscious about it in my life. It's crazy. And the Stop Shooting Yourself podcast actually came out of the work I did with my therapist and the work I did by myself and the work I did with coaches. It came out of all of that because those are the things that I actually worked on to be able to give myself the permission to feel that free. And when I started to enjoy my business and my life in a very different way from a way that I thought was possible before, based off of my belief systems, the way that I worked, how long I worked, just general things that we do in our life and in our business, the more I was like, my God, I feel like there's something here that will help a lot of other people. And that's why I started the podcast. It went through several different iterations before we got started, but this is where we landed. Grand Rising. Hello. Good morning. So it's from South Dakota. Good to see you. Oh my God. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Do you see this on the bottom right-hand side? LaFern, are you seeing this? Look at the chat. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger. Okay, I didn't even know that this was going to work this time. Oh no, it went away. Chat box. Hold on. I need you to show me more than just the one message. Hold on. This is so cool. Oh my God, this is so cool. Hold on. Visual settings, clean, always show messages. All right, let's just say always show messages for now. And I'm going to make it that many messages. Okay. All right. Okay, let's try again. Okay, whoever is here, all right, I want you to message. Okay, it's going to pop up. Ah! Do you see it? Do you see what is on the screen right now? Yes! Okay, I have now discovered that this doesn't work for groups. So if I am trying to do this so I can show you guys your chats in my group, that does not work. But it does work if we do it here. So I'm going to move this up here so that it's easier to see. Hold on. I want to narrow it down a little bit. Sorry, I didn't realize this was going to work. So just keep typing things. It's just fun. Just keep typing things. We'll have fun. And then I made the screen small. So what I'm hoping will happen is that when I was hoping that when I scrolled up or down, I'd be able to go back to your chats. But that's cool. Look at that. That's really cool. Just keep typing things. Have fun. Just keep typing things. Okay. All right. That was pretty fun, actually. Sorry, I didn't expect that to happen. Got totally distracted by my nifty little thing. And you know what I love is that it looks like it's got my own fonty thing happening. I do feel like for the next time I do this, I may need to adjust its size and the way it looks and things like that. Exactly. I think I need to move it a smidge over, and I think I need to make it a little bit bigger. I'm thinking something maybe bigger like this so that it's easier to read, right? But no, not that way. This more so that I'm still workshopping this, obviously. I didn't mean to workshop it during our live recording, but I mean, it happened. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Okay. But we'll play around with this later. For now, we'll just keep it here and like we'll all ooh and ah over it every time it pops up, because I know I will. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, look at that. That's so cool. Okay. So, sorry about the distraction. Let's go back. Live podcast recording, everybody. Hi, how you doing? All right. My name is Vanessa Konecki. I am a business overwhelm coach and optimization expert. And, the approach that I have to business is very different from the approach that you're going to see from pretty much any other coach. So whatever it is that we're going to hear and talk, what you're here and talk about today, it's not meant to replace what you learn with other coaches and stuff. It's meant to give you a different way of looking at your business and looking at making money. Okay. I think that's what it is. I think it's a public versus private thing. I know, right? Like we all, oh, see, here's the problem. Okay. So I see Patty. I'm so glad you commented when you did, because that told me that I can't make it big or small like this. I have to do it properly. That's fine. We'll learn. Seriously, everybody's going to come to like, you're looking, get people on the live so they can all just comment, because it just looks so fun. And today's podcast is about, if you're doing it right, success should come quickly. Okay. This is a belief system that so many of us have, and it keeps us locked into in a state of not making any progress at all. So today I'm going to break down where that comes from, how it manifests in your business. So like, why do we feel that way? And how does it show up in your day-to-day activities in your business? And then what steps you can take to approach it in a different way. Because I want you to, like, it is a problem, and I want you to know why it's a problem. So the way that this works is I'm going to, do live from New York. I'm going to do the podcast. And then while I'm doing the podcast, I don't usually look at comments. But when I'm done doing the podcast, there's be a little thing where I said, leave your review and blah, blah, blah. That's when I'll come back, and then I'll answer questions, and we'll have a conversation and talk about it, and really just sort of like massage through just generally what your experience of it is and how I feel about it, and just sort of work through some of these issues. This is a really powerful way for you to get different ideas about business without having to make major changes, because that for me is very important. Is so many things that we do in our business are big sweeping changes, and they're very sexy because they're very obvious and people can see them. They're like, ooh, look at that, right? But they'll usually have an immediate impact, but it's usually very short term. And so you have to keep doing it in order to continue to see results. What we talk about in the podcast is more about little changes they're not very sexy. I'll be honest. These are not sexy changes, but they have a far-reaching long-term overall impact on your entire business, so that you don't have to do a lot of those things that take up your time and energy actively as much. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right. So let's see what we have for comments so far. Live from New York. I know, right? It's Saturday night. By the way, did you guys watch Kim Kardashian's? She was amazing. Oh my God, she was so funny. I thought her Nicole Brown Simpson one was really in bad taste, like really bad taste. But other than that, I thought she did really, really well. I thought she was super funny. I thought when she was playing her sister, it was amazing. Oh God. She played Courtney. Oh my God. When she was playing Courtney and Travis, that was awesome. Oh my God. It was so awesome. Hello from Massachusetts, dude. Hello from Massachusetts. Susan, if you Google, YouTube it, they have the snips in there. So there's the People's Court with a K. And then there's, her opening monologue, which was funny. And then she had a couple of others. She's a terrible actress, like really bad actress, but you could tell she was nervous and she was in earnest and she was funny. So like, it was fine, right? But she is a really bad actress, like awful. I mean, that's okay. Not everybody's going to be a good actress. I'm a terrible actress. So, it is what it is. All right, let's get this show on the road, people. We ready? Okay. Let me open up my thing. Okay. All right. Last time I had to do the intro again because, I got flustered. All right. So, hello, and welcome to the Stop Shitting All Over Yourself podcast, the podcast where you come to learn how to let go of doing the things in your business that you don't actually want to be doing anyway. These are the things that either emotionally or physically or even activity-wise, you've gathered over the years as things that you think you should be doing for your business. You hate doing them, or maybe you just do them and you don't even think about it. But they're things that you can eliminate and get rid of that will buy you more time in your business and that will help you make more money and give you more freedom to do pretty much whatever you want. Today, we're going to be talking about a myth that many of us hold dear, very, very dear, is that if we're doing the right thing in our business, whatever that right thing is, the right steps, the right activities, saying the right words, talking the right, whatever, right thing, then success will come quickly. Because if you're doing it right, then success just happens, right? That's just the sort of thing that just happens. Unfortunately, I've actually worked with lots and lots and lots of business owners who are doing all of the right things, myself included, who did not see success early on. It took them a long time. The problem with a lot of this is that by the time someone has reached a point where they are successful, right, where they're visibly successful and you can see what they're doing, right, they've already walked across coals, and they've already struggled and suffered and gone through the ringer and dealt with whatever challenges they needed to deal with. And then you see them, and because you haven't seen them before, you don't know about all of the work that they did before, all of the struggles that they had before, or whatever, right? So to you, they look like an overnight success. Oh my God, look at that. It took a lot of these people 10 years to get to an overnight success. Now, intellectually speaking, we're all aware of this. Like, I totally know that. We're all aware of it. But when it comes to us ourselves personally, right? So now I've looked at somebody who's doing really, really well, and I totally accept that she's done a lot of hard work, and look at her, she's amazing, she's so good, blah, 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 right? But then I sit and I look at myself, and I'm doing the same things that person is, and if I'm not seeing success, I'm judging myself. And those two things, I'm holding those two same ideas at the same time, even though they are conflicting ideas, right? One says, listen, it's going to take you time to get where you're going, even if you're doing the right thing. And okay, we're fine with that. But the other one says, oh my God, you're doing the right thing and you're not succeeding. Clearly you're a failure. And I'm holding both of those things as true at the same time. So the first thing that I had to do to kind of like, to get out of this, because that was holding me back, was recognize that I was holding two opposing views at the same time. And let me show you sort of how this manifested, right? And how all of this how I realized all of this in my life, okay? So when I was at LuLaRoe, there was a woman named Crystal Foy. She ran, I can't remember what her business name was then. I think it was called The Foys. Now she runs a business called, oh my God, what's it called? I actually looked up the link, Joe and something. I pulled the link. I don't know where it is. I pulled the link. Anyway, it was Joe and something. Oh, there it is. It's called Shop with Joe and Gray. Shop with Joe and Gray. It's Joe and Gray. Okay, so that's her new company. So I used to watch her back in the day, and I was blown away by how effective what she was doing was. Like, she was so good at what she was doing. People were buying from her. She was like, had 600 people on her lives, and people were just buying. And Syra and I were trying to move to a different stage in our income, in our sales. And so I saw what she was doing, and it was working for her, right? So what I did was like, okay, I'm going to copy what she does, because if she's doing it and it's working for her, then if I do it, it should work for me, and then I'll be making the same sales she is, right? Perfect. Great. Done. Easy as pie, right? So I copied every single thing she did. Okay. It's like every single thing she did. And I didn't understand at the time that even though I was copying everything she did, and it was exhausting for me, by the way, I didn't realize that I wasn't seeing the same success she was, and it was exhausting. And so what I didn't understand when I was looking at her and seeing all the things that she had done, right, was that she had spent years learning how to be a marketer, learning how to find her target audience, learning about how to connect with people. And what I was actually seeing was the results of all of those years of work and study, right? But I didn't have those years, okay? I didn't have those years. And so for me, I wanted to make the money now. So it was a hard concept for me to reconcile that, okay, wait a minute. So if she's doing really well doing all these things now, then for me to get good at doing all the things that she's doing now, it's going to take me 10 years? Like, and that to me was like, honestly, it just seems like too much work. And it seemed too much effort. It seemed exhausting when I was already so tired and already doing so many things. It's not that I was lazy. It's that I was tired. I was tired, right? So for me, it's really hard, I think, to recognize the fact that success takes a long time. It's a journey. Hitting your goals is a journey. But I think when I used to think about it, I would think about it in terms of like, I'm where I am right now, and then I'm where I'm going to be when I'm successful, but it's like a light switch, right? It's like right now I'm here and I'm worried about money and I want to make money, blah, 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 right? And then I flip the switch and now I'm successful, right? And it happens immediately, right? And of course, that's not really like when you really, really sit and think about it, you know that's not how it happens, but that's how we envision it when we're like, one day when I'm successful, one day when I hit my goals, whatever that is, right? So the first thing that really helped me was visualizing it a little bit differently. So instead of thinking about success as like a binary switch that either I'm there or I'm not, I've hit my goals or I haven't, I thought about success instead of I thought of it more of like not a very steep hill. Okay, so like a rolling hill, but the hill is big, it's long, it's a very long hill, but it rolls and it goes up, right? Or a hiking mountain. If you've ever been in the mountains and walked around, like there's varying levels of elevation. Like some people will go 100 feet up and that's enough and they're like, I'm done here. And some people will go like 1,000 feet up and they're, oh my god, that's crazy. And some people will climb to the top of Everest, right? And there are steep climbs and there's shallow climbs. So this is like a not so steep climb, right? So think about that success in that way, right? Now, it will take effort to walk up. Okay, some areas are going to be easier to walk up. Some areas are going to be harder. Some areas will have beautiful views and some areas won't, right? But every step that you take up this hill, it doesn't matter what step you take, as long as you're taking the step up the hill, all right, you're going to get a better view every time you take that step up, right? Every time you go, you're going to get a better view. The same thing is true for your business. As long as you are doing the right things, right, the things that are fundamentally necessary to have a successful business, then you will continue to have growth slowly over the course of time. So even though it's sexier to have like, something where basically if you wanted to get to the top of Everest, like there's a switch that you flip and suddenly you're at the top, like teleportation. Haha, look, I'm here. And that's very sexy because someone's like, whoa, she was down here 2 minutes ago and now she's up there. That's amazing, right? That's obviously very cool. It doesn't sound very cool to be like, yes, I walked up this hill very slowly and steadily and was consistent about it. And then I hit the top. Not that anybody is doing this for the story, but that's how we imagine the story, right? When you're thinking about the story of your future and your life and whatever it is, those are the visions that you create. The sale that's super great, the sale that makes all the difference and you can pay off your debt, and the 5 or 6 sales in a row that are incredible, and all of those things will come. But there is a pathway to get there where you have sales where you sell a few $100s more than you did the sale before, and it's not super insanely amounts of money, but it's still progress in the right direction, right? So it's important to remember that everybody has different goals, right? So some people have really, really, really big goals and they want to make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, and that's their goal, right? And for them, their summit, the top that they're going to, is the top of Everest, right? But other people, like myself, I don't need to go that high. My house that I'm moving to is on a cliff that's 100 feet up, and I'm happy with that. I will stop at the cliff at 100 foot up, right? Some people don't want 10 cars, 3 houses, and a bathtub made of gold, okay? Some people just want to make a couple $1,000s a month, and for them, climbing up to the top of Everest is not something that they want. But often it's easy to get caught up in other people's goals because you see what other people are doing and their dopamine and excitement, you get infected and then someone else gets infected, and then we're all infected with excitement and enthusiasm, and we're chasing the bigger dollar amount without stopping to think about, where did you actually want to stop? What is your actual goal? Are you trying to make $100,000 a month? I mean, none of us are going to say no to $100,000 a month, but most people don't want to do the work necessary to make $100,000 a month. And I don't mean that in terms of laziness. I do not want to do the work that it takes to make $100,000 a month in retail. Not a chance in hell, because I know what that takes. That takes a staff. That takes a lot of lives. Like live streaming. That takes a lot of invested money in your products, because you have to have a huge inventory, huge, to sell $100,000 a month, right? Which means you have to invest more than $100,000 a month in order to make sure that you constantly have a rotation of inventory coming in. Those are all very anxiety provoking things for me. I do not want that. Yes, it might be nice to have $100,000 a month coming in, but I don't want to do the work necessary. That's not the life that I want for myself. What is the life that I want for myself? And I'll be honest, there was a time where I forgot that. I forgot that that's not the life that I wanted. And I got caught up in the money. And so for me, when I said I should see success soon, it was I should see success soon. And success looks like buying 2 cars, having a golden bathtub, right? And so I was just chasing all of that without realizing that I had forgotten why I got into this in the first place, right? So the first important thing to recognize is that it doesn't matter what height you're trying to get to. But it is really important that you know for yourself what goal you're actually trying to achieve. Like, really sit and think about it. And we're going to talk a little bit later, just a little bit later, about exactly what that looks like, because that was a fundamental part of the change, right? And it doesn't matter how high you're trying to get, but you want to prepare for the climb that you're actually going to make. So let's say you decide that you want to stop at 100 feet. You're like, okay, this is what I want. I actually want to be able to just pay my bills. I want to save a little bit of extra money to go to Disney or something, but I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be the next Elon Musk or something, right? Like that's not my thing. I'm fine. So if you decide that and you're only going up 100 feet, then the preparation that you need to do and the things that you need to do are going to be very different from if you decide you want to go to the top of Everest, right? Now you're going to need air tanks and, somebody to show you the way. And you're going to need so many more things to get to the top of Everest than you do to get to the top of the hill at 100 feet. Some people want Everest, some people want 100 feet, and there's nothing wrong with wanting whatever you want. It's just important to know what you actually want, because otherwise you could be looking at someone. So for example, when I look at Crystal Foy now, and I love her as an example because she's a brilliant woman, she's so smart. I recommend that you take a look at her site, look at what she does. Like, she's just really, really smart. And she inspired me to go on this marketing journey, because one day I asked her, I said, how do you do all this? And she said, I was a VP of marketing. And I was like, oh, so for 10 years before she joined LuLaRoe, she was a VP of marketing, and in marketing, like, this was her whole life. So that was the moment where I realized that she had different goals. She had a different life experience. She had different things. She had different risks she was willing to take. And for me to model my activities over her was unfair to me. So unfair, because I was never going to hit her goals because I didn't want to pay the price. I didn't want to do the things necessary, and I didn't want to go to school, right, to become a VP of marketing. I never wanted to be a VP of marketing. So I can't follow her path because her path is not mine. But I could look at what she's doing and say, okay, I think that would work. I think that would work. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. And like pick and choose, right? So there's a really great way of using people who are successful, using their skills to be able to make your own business successful without actually modeling after and saying, look, this is what makes somebody successful, because that is a blueprint that is unique to you, that needs to be customized, like by you as you're going through the process, thinking of what is your goal, right? So now the key, of course, is now recognizing that it takes time and effort to get where you want to go, and that this is really important. Okay, so this is where we all get stuck. You don't have control over how long it takes. Okay, the pace is what it is. Many of us try to force the issue, and we try to make things happen faster. And I want you to look back at the last 5 years or so and look at your year-to-year goals, and I want you to think about how long it takes you sometimes to hit those things. Often it takes a long time to hit those goals because you're trying too hard. And in order to make it actually happen faster, you have to slow down and let go a little bit. And Syra and I were just having this exact same conversation last night, because we tend to want to grasp on, like, I want to make this happen. I want to make this happen because we want things to happen faster. We don't have control over that. So we have to slow down and kind of just breathe. Meditation has really helped me with this, because all you can really control and manage is the process, okay? The process. And that will help get results faster, right? It will help you get results faster. And the mindset, okay? But the way to get results faster is by going slower, okay? That's really the problem that many of us have, is it's so hard to let go of the idea that in order for us to see results faster, we have to stop trying to control so many things, okay? So I want to tell you what this looks like, okay? What does this look like in your business, all right? How does this play out in real life? So you try something, okay? So let's pick something in general, all right? Email. Today, you want to start on email, okay? So it's likely that you're like, you put it on your to-do list as set up email, okay? So that's usually what it'll say. Set up email service, set up email newsletter, something like that, okay? You sit down, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this today. So you sit down and you're like, okay, first question, what email service should I use? And now you start researching, okay? And now you get frustrated almost very quickly because you have so many options. You don't know what the right options are. Maybe it's confusing, right? Maybe you're not sure now that you're like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. Even if I'm doing this and I pick Aweber or MailChimp or whatever it is I'm picking, how does it fit into my business? Like, how am I going to get people to shop more? Why is it not just like, how is this not a waste of money? Like, I know it's important, but how does it fit in, and how is it going to help me grow, right? So now you're starting to get a little bit, and I've been through this so many times, like, I can't even tell you how many times with email I did this exact thing where I sat down and I was just like, oh my God, right? Now, for a lot of people, even once you get your email started, right, this is where the problem begins, because once you've pushed it through and you've sent out a few emails, the problem starts there, because first, almost no one sees results from their email list when it gets implemented that way. So when you sit down and you're like, I got to push my email list through and I got to do this and I got to get it going, and you start sending your emails out, almost no one gets results. I will tell you, I've almost never, they usually come to me and saying, I'm sending out emails and nobody's opening them. Okay. Now they don't get open, and because they don't get open, you're not sure why you're doing it. Why am I even doing email if nobody's even opening these? Okay. And so you give up. You're like, why would I do this? And so you wait, you don't send emails for a couple months. And then usually when this is a lot of times when someone finds a squad, the thing that I hear is, well, I set up an email, but I haven't sent an email in a few months because I don't know what to say or I'm not sure how to use it. Okay. Those are the areas where we end up getting stuck. For me, I didn't send emails for months. I ended up losing half of my email list because I didn't send emails because I was stuck in this exact same space. Okay. So two things are happening here. Okay. When you give up, when that moment comes where you stop sending them, two specific things are happening here. The first is it is really hard to find the kind of resources you're looking for in terms of writing emails and getting things done in business. Okay. I know that because that's why I created the squad, right? There's a lot of stuff that'll tell you, this is how you write an email. This is how you write an email. This is how you write an email. But it's very hard to find a training or a resource that will show you, that will explain to you conceptually how all of this fits in and how it helps you make your business run faster and better. Like, and I honestly have not read things that like they intellectually make sense to me. Absolutely. But in terms of the overall system, I didn't understand how it fit into like the path or the system. And nobody was very good at explaining that to me. So the second thing is that happened is you got frustrated because of your lack of results, right? Now, for this to work, okay, I need to lay this out honestly because like I said, I'm the coach that will tell you things that other coaches won't tell you. So I'm just going to tell you this right off the bat. For your business to work, anything that you try, whether if it's the right thing, even if it's the right thing, you're looking at 3 to 6 months of experimentation before you figure out your groove and how to make it work for you specifically, okay? You are not looking at something where you implemented, it works perfectly, and then it works perfectly forever after that. You may have some situations where that happens, like, randomly you figure something out and you're like, oh my God, this works perfectly. But I have historically not ever met anyone who has not had to work through something, even if it was the right thing, to be able to figure out, okay, now I'm putting a nail in this and it's done. But that doesn't mean that those 3 to 6 months are going to be empty of progress. When you implement those things using slowly and experimentation, you actually will see results and start making money even through those 3 to 6 months. But it takes 3 to 6 months to get to the point where you're like, okay, I know what this is. I've put this in its place and now I don't need to revisit this again because it's there. So now I can just go off and do something else. And now that particular aspect of learning about business and putting things together is done. Now all you're doing is writing the emails and sending them off. You never have to think about all the other stuff again, which opens up your day, right? So the first thing, you're not going to be able to, it's so many things that we try to plow through, like email. You're not going to be able to plow through email in a weekend and just get it up. Yes, you can totally get it started that way, but that's not going to actually get you results. And that is some of the things that like, it bothers me a lot of like the things that say, get your email set up in one day. Yeah, you can absolutely get your email set up in one day, but will you get it set up to where it's giving you results in one day? Unless you already have you're putting this legwork in? No. So most of the time, when you want to do email, you just say, do email. Okay, so here is your solution. All right, so this is how you want to manage this. First thing first, hardest part is accepting that success is going to take longer than you think, no matter how long you think it's going to take. Okay, that is the way it is. I hate it. It makes me angry and frustrated. I am a petulant child when it comes to things like this. I'm a brat, but that is the way it is. And so for me, the most effective way to deal with that was to just accept it and be like, this is how it is, and I'm just going to go with it. Since that happened, and honestly, that happened in the last 6 months. If you have been following me in the last 6 months, I don't need to tell you how much, actually, no, not 6 months. It started with Tribe. So it would have been March of this year. So March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, 6 months. So a little bit over 6 months. So if you have been following me, then you can see how the moment I let go of trying to make things happen quickly, which happened February of this year, is when everything started to happen, right? My clients, the exact same thing. They have been watching me and they've also been letting go. And for them, change, like, oh my God, one of my clients is booked up until probably, like, I think she's not even taking any more orders anymore because she's booked up until January, right? Because she just let go of the need for speed. She let go of the need for speed, okay? So once you accept that, then it's about redefining your definition of success, okay? I want you to start thinking about success as living your best life day to day to day. You don't have to mortgage your present to have a happy future. That is a lie, okay? The lie that I have heard constantly, I sleep now, what is it? Like work while other people are sleeping so that you can have the life that other people only dream of? Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. That is such bullshit. You do not have to do that. That is completely a fallacy. You can have your cake and eat it too. All it's about is perspective. And if you are okay with building something that lasts a long time, that will give you stability for a long time, and you're okay with walking the slow path up, then you will have all of these things and you will be able to sleep and also make money. You don't have to make that choice. And that the fact that that meme is out there drives me insane, right? So for me, I've really thought about my day to day. So I want you to think about your day to day. What time do you wake up? What do you do? How do you go meditate? Do you make coffee? Do you have kids? What do you do with the kids, right? Just think about what you want your ideal life to look like. Work your way backwards from there. How much does it cost to have that day-to-day life? Because that's the life you're building. You want to be able to live the ideal day-to-day life. What does it matter if you have a gigantic mansion if you hate your life, right? So think about your day-to-day life. I have helped many people become very rich over the years, and I can tell you that money is not where a lot of people find their joy. They find their joy once they know what they really want and what will really make them happy, and then making the money to pay for that, not the money itself. Money is not the secret to happiness. Money is the vehicle to purchasing the things you need to build the happiness that you have designed in your head. So it's important to know what your actual happiness looks like, okay? Now that you know that, okay, this is what I want, things will take longer than they think they will, I'm building my life, okay? The next question is, how do you now operationalize this on your day-to-day? So in your day-to-day, right, this is how you get your big vision attached to your day-to-day activities. In your day-to-day activities, what that looks like is, know if you know that things are going to take longer than you think they will, okay, the first thing is to identify why, okay? And I've done the homework for you, and I'm going to actually make a post about that later on today, but I've done the homework for you on one of these, right? And it's because you're taking a lot of small tasks and you're making it into one big task, okay? So setting up email is not one task. Setting up email is actually 30 different little tasks. So when you sit down to set up email, the reason why you're so overwhelmed often is because you don't know where to start, because there are 30 different tasks, but you don't have them all listed down. You just have the ones, so you don't know where to start. So if you break it down into the smaller tasks, now you look at the smaller tasks and be like, oh my God, I have so many things to do, so much to do. Here's where it gets brilliant. As long as you're moving through a couple of those tasks a day, you'll have your email list set up and producing within a couple of weeks, as opposed to the one where you just don't do it all because it gets overwhelming, spend 3 months procrastinating on it, finally end up doing it, not sure what you're doing, push it through, and now you keep rubber banding back to the beginning. 3 years later, you still don't have an email list. Doing it this way, breaking it down into the smallest possible tasks you can and just crossing off a couple of tasks a day will have you feeling like you're making progress every single day, which will make you feel more confident, which will make you, that will demonstrate, you will show, when you're confident, that shows when you're talking to your audience. They will feel your confidence and they will want to buy from you more. These little things have huge impact on your business overall and will make a bigger difference than doing one challenge in 1 month. Now, one challenge in 1 month will have a great impact on your business for that 1 month, but when that challenge is over, you're back to being on the grind again. Doing it this way takes you off the grind altogether, so that when you do those challenges, it's a burst of income, but it's not the income that you're counting on to keep your business going, right? Now, if you're not sure how to do any of this, the thing that you want to do is click on the blue button, okay? So if you're not sure, okay, actually let me back up a little bit. So breaking things up into little pieces, we talked about that, and then you want to put them on your triage list, which then you will put onto your to-do list weekly, okay? Now, there is an actual process for this. If you're not sure what that process is, here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on the blue button at the top of the business page, the Facebook business page. You can get to that by going to manessa.com. Click on the blue button, take the quiz. It's called the How Much Time Will You Save quiz. It's a great quiz. It'll show you how much time you'll save by implementing the strategies that are in the free tool that you're going to get. When you're done with the quiz, make sure you put in your email and you will get a workbook, a guide. And the guide will show you how to create lists that will allow you to create constant forward momentum by taking little steps without overhauling your life so that you don't feel exhausted and like you're chasing the sales all the time. It is so much more appealing to do sexy things that are big and dramatic, but those are not the things that will keep your business going in the long term. And those are the exact things that keep you feeling anxious and like you're chasing money all of the time. And it is so important to recognize that. Because here's the thing, right? It's really sexy to do a thing and make massive amounts of money on it, okay? It's why we get excited about new ideas or challenges. Those are fantastic for injecting excitement into your business or reinvigorating it, but it's not the foundation of a stress-free business. It will keep you constantly chasing sales and feeling like you're behind. Ultimately, none of us got into business so that we could feel like we had to work all the time, have a knot in our chest, or fight for every sale. You got into business because you had a vision for your life. That's why I got into business, because I felt like I had a vision for my life. And we've been told that there's a certain way to get to whatever our vision of the future is, right? And those things that we have taught, they just don't work in the Facebook world. And the great news is that there is a better way of doing it. And you can have your cake and eat it too. And it actually is less work than any of the other stuff that we're already doing. Like, it's crazy less work. But it does mean that you have to reframe your approach to business. And I would absolutely love to help you do that. And you can start by giving yourself a break and slowing down. Okay, really, you've got to slow down, right? Really internalize what you already know in your mind, which is that success takes time, and give yourself a chance to succeed. If you want to watch this podcast recording live, join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on the Direct to Success Facebook page, and then join the Q&A after. You can also join the conversation for this episode on the page right now. I know, like, in my heart, like, I believe that this podcast is going to change lives. So please leave us a review on whatever podcast app you listen to this on, and on the Facebook business page. Just leave us a review so that other business owners can know how it's helping you. My mission in life, right? So we were talking about what those goals are, like what the top of the summit is. And my summit, my Everest is not about money. My Everest is about helping as many women as I can to feel the joy and confidence in their business again. So I'm packing for that 1,000-foot climb in terms of impact. In terms of money, I'm stopping at the 100 mark. But in terms of impact, I'm going to the Everest, right? And your referrals will help to get that message out so we can have that bigger impact on our community, okay? I appreciate it, and so will your business besties. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Okay, done. All right, here we are. Okay. Alrighty. Whoa. Okay, so let's see what we got for this chat. Okay, hello. Amber says, right, if I had all the money and somehow I lost spending time with my family, I would be so heartbroken, and then the money wouldn't hold no value for me. That's exactly it, right? We think about it being all about wanting the money. But if you really think about if I said to you, okay, here you go, here's $1 million. Now all your family is going away for the year, and you don't get to see them. You don't get to talk to them. You don't get to do anything with them. You just get money. Well, then you're like, well, why the hell did I even want this money, right? So that's not what you're after. But we get so caught up in the money and on it. And I understand it. For me, it's a poverty-based mindset. It comes from years of fear of not having any money. It comes from almost being homeless. It comes from having our electricity shut off. Like, we all have our own reasons for why we do it. And no matter how real those reasons are, it's still important to recognize that they're not healthy. And that those are the things that keep us put in this place, and that in the place that we're at. And we're so lucky to live in a world that, why is somebody calling me? No, I don't want to talk to you. We're so lucky to live in a world where the tools are there for us to have these conversations. Because the reason why I started the squad, right? Again, my mother didn't have these tools, and I watched her feel this way her whole life until she died. And she never had an opportunity to see what I see, right? And I wish she could have, right? I wish she could have seen herself the way I see myself. And I wish she could see herself. I wish we could all see ourselves as successful people who have something to give, right? Who are valuable, that kind of thing. And I think that in the 80s and the 90s, the tools just weren't there. But now we have those tools. And what's really great is your kids will never have to deal with this junk, but we do. And so it's important for us to recognize that we've been programmed. We programmed ourselves. Society programs us. It's just lots of programming. And what can we actually do about that, right? Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. Where did you travel to, Susan? Dude, where'd you go? Okay. Oprah was fired several times before she succeeded. Absolutely. Oh my God. There are so many stories about people who, like Jason Momoa, was before he got his Game of Thrones break, or was it Aquaman? No, it was Game of Thrones. I don't know. It was Aquaman or Game of Thrones. Oh, I'm so glad, dude. I'm so glad that you were seeing the doctors. But a lot of these people, there was somebody the other day that I was so shocked to see them. I was reading this article about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, not the TV show, the movie like years ago with Luke Perry in it. And Ben Affleck had a line. Ben Affleck, I had no idea he was in it. So he was in it, and I actually remember the scene, right? And the scene is they're playing basketball, and one of the guys, he's dribbling, he steals the ball from the guy, and the guy goes all vampire on him, and he goes, "Oh, you take it," right? And I remember that scene so well. Turns out they dubbed his voiceover. It's not even his voice. Alrighty. So I've been with the company for almost a year, and I'm lucky if I get 2 sales. So Sherry, here's what I want to recommend that you do. Click on that link up at the top. Get the Hustle Proof Your Life. I work specifically with women who are in direct sales or run small businesses who have been doing it for a while and who are not seeing results. Because here's what I discovered when I was at LuLaRoe is that there's a reason why. And the reason why is that many, almost all of us were taught to sell using a pre-Facebook Live methodology. And it makes perfect sense because Facebook Live has only been around for about 7 years. And think about when we were all taught. We were all taught about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, people were still teaching stuff that they knew from 5 years ago. Oh my, before Facebook Live. And they're trying to inject Facebook Live into it, right? And then in 2017, which was 2017, Facebook completely changed the algorithm. Okay, so what are we, 2021? That's 4 years. People are still teaching the stuff that they were teaching from prior to 4 years ago. But as of 4 years ago, doesn't make any sense. None whatsoever. That is really hard for people to accept, that what they are doing is not right, it is wrong, and that they need to teach differently. And I'll be very honest with you. I actually want to cry just talking about this because it was so humbling. The most humbling experience for me in my life in the last decade has been letting go of the need to be right and recognizing that if I really wanted to have an impact, I had to accept that I was wrong about a lot of things and that I needed to fix them. And that's why I went into Tribe. Humbling myself before whatever the heck it was that made me humble myself was very hard, but it was the difference. Okay. So the important thing to realize is that it's not about you. It's not, as in your business is about you, but the fact that you're not doing well is not yes, we all have agency in it, but it's not your fault. A lot of it is really just that there's an overabundance of information out there that just doesn't take so many things from 2017 into account. And that's just, it's the internet. Everything's out there, right? And so what I would recommend, generally speaking, if you're going to be getting advice from anyone, find out where they're getting their lessons. Find out how they're learning. Find out what their approach is. Ask them questions like, should I go live 90 times in 90 days? And if they say yes, run away. Okay. Should I message my friends? That I've known for all my friends and tell them about my product? If they say yes, don't listen to that person. Because if those are the two, can I sell on my personal profile? If they don't answer those questions with no, no, and no, then they don't know what they're talking about. And then you need to find someone else. It doesn't have to be me, anyone else. Roxanne Wilson, Brenda Stur is a good one. Megan Sumrall is good. These are all great people. I can recommend anyone to you because I'm not going to be for everybody, but just don't listen to the people who tell you that. Okay. Alrighty. It's so hard because the idea of success is abstract and differs from culture to culture and generation. That's why, Amber, it's so important to figure out for yourself what you think success is. And that's really hard because in my culture, success is having children, getting married, having babies, and becoming an accountant or one of those things, right? Accountant, lawyer, doctor. I didn't do any of those things. By all accounts, for my grandmother, when I was 30, or I can't remember, 25, I was a failure. When I went home and I had this tattoo, it was the only one I had at the time, I was a failure because I had not done any of the things that were important. And I grew up knowing that I would fail, okay? I went into life knowing I was a failure because I wasn't going to have kids. I wasn't going to become a doctor. What was the other reason I was a failure? Oh, I was a woman. Standard, given that you're going to be a failure if you're not doing those things as a woman. There was something else. Oh, Vanessa would be so smart if only she didn't apply, if she applied herself. I have ADHD, but we didn't even know what that was then. So I started out with the belief that I failed. And that was hard for me, right? Because if your culture has a definition of success that you do not agree with, then you are starting out believing that you're a failure because that's what your culture says you are. I went to therapy for that. I'm going to be really honest. I couldn't figure that out. I went to therapy for that. Okay. Alrighty. So Sherry says, I am at the point where I'm losing money or not making much at all. I don't want to give up, but I need help. I don't want to have to quit. So Sherry, do that. So start with downloading the stuff and then that I mentioned. Then once you've gone through the Hustle Proof Your Life workbook, send me an email, okay? And then we'll start from there. Okay, then let's talk and I can guide you. Okay? Okay, yeah, we don't want to work that hard. Hi, Patricia. Hello. For my human design, oh my God. Dude, I love seeing these comments pop up. I'm serious. Like, how amazing are these comments as they're popping up? I see them and I'm just so happy. Like, I'm going to find a way to do this like all the time because it makes me soup saps. Okay. Accepting that creating success takes time is great advice. It makes me angry. I'm not, like, I will tell you that every time I say it because it just is what it is. But I'm not actually angry anymore. But it did make me angry initially. Let's be more real. So if you're hearing that and you're feeling, like, if you hear that and you feel an immediate rejection of that idea, you're not alone. Not at all. I like my immediate response is rejection also. It's no. But that doesn't mean that that's not how it is, right? It is like, that is the way it is. And the sooner you just accept it, the better your life will be. And I wish I didn't have to sound like such an asshole saying that, but it's like, I don't know any other way to find happiness except accepting that it wasn't the way that I thought it was. Oh man, it's so annoying. God, why couldn't things just be the way I thought they were, right? Okay. All right, Amber says, okay, we talked about that. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so Amber says that would be a no for me. You need to be setting boundaries with money, right? We know how to do this with people, but not always with money. I'm learning. And for me, here's one of my problems. So because I'm poverty mindset, when I get money, so like I work really hard not to spend money at all. Like, but if something breaks the dam, like this house, buying the house, it's a flood. I can't stop. Like this is, and I understand this about myself and I am in therapy and working on it and that kind of thing, but I just can't stop spending. And it's because for me, it's like, it goes back to like when you're poor and you don't have any money, right? Then when you have money, you're like, oh my God, I can have things, right? I can finally, because I haven't replaced my shoes and like, okay, no, my shoes aren't, well, actually, it's not, that is true. I've done that. So I had the same pair of shoes for like 5 years that I would just like cobble back together. And then I got money and I bought like lots of shoes. Like I had a pair of shoes that when I would step in water, the water would like come in and you're just like, oh, and then like you get in your car and like, it's awful. It's gross. It's so gross. Especially in the winter when it's like snowy, gross, bleh, so disgusting. Okay. So I've heard others say they aren't in it for the money. From you, I believe it. So I want to be really honest. I do want money. I'm not going to lie. I actually do want money. So I do. But that's not like, for me, I'm actually, and this is so important to me that I'm actually, I want to find ways so that my money comes from other places because it's so important to me that this be a mission. It's very meaningful to me, right? So like I'm trying to find money coming in so that I can be even more like, that is so important, right? And I appreciate you saying that you believe that, Cindy, because I know that it can sound like lip service, right? But like I do really mean it. So, and the only reason I can say for sure that I know is because I've already been a millionaire a couple times and I know like it didn't matter. In retrospect, it didn't matter. Until I changed, it didn't matter. And so you can have a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money, and in the end, you're still the same miserable person. Okay, I was the same miserable asshole when I had money as when I didn't have money. And it wasn't until I really started to work on finding happiness and understanding what would really make me happy and letting go of other people's expectations of me that I was really able to truly find what made me happy and live. I feel like I'm truly living my life for me, right? And that's really, and my and then I can be the best person for my family. And then I can be the best person for the people I want to help. And that's the same for you too, right? You want to be the best mom ever. You want to be the best sister ever. You want to be the best whatever it is that you're doing, right? But first you have to figure out what will make you happy. Because without you being happy, and Dee Dee said this in office hours yesterday, without you being happy, your family cannot come along with you for the ride. Happy wife, happy life, happy mom. It really is about happy mom, just happy parents, okay? Happy people. Happy people beget happy people. So you're not going to be able to foster and create happiness in your family if you inside are not taking care of what's here. And you'll be surprised at what you'll find when you start to cater to your own happiness. And that is a very strong form of self-care. Okay. Hi, Dub. Okay. Why do you want the bigger house? Why do you want the car, right? Exactly. Why? Is it programming? Absolutely. Exactly. Athena's home office is in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Oh my God, Susan, I didn't know you sold Athena's. By the way, I'm all about anyone selling Athenas or pure romance, that's my next chapter. So chapter 5 is probably going to be sexual health. I'm going to work in sexual health coaching. So excited. Okay. Susan says she went to a networking event where they were teaching the most outdated Facebook info. Dude, I see it all the time, and I see it in a lot of direct sales home offices. Oh my God. Who is it just did this? I think Roden & Fields just did this, where they told everybody to message everyone that they knew for like the last 10 years and just send out messages. And I love Roden & Fields, and they're amazing and they're great, but that's still stupid advice. Like, sorry, it's just really dumb. Okay, I get Hey Girl Hey messages from people I friend request. Exactly. So I get a lot of Hey Girl Hey requests, and I got to be really honest. I used to respond and say, listen, there's a better way of doing this. But I realized that the people who are doing that so far, no one has ever taken me up on it. And I realize they don't want to hear it. So it's so hard because I want to help everyone, but I've really had to be conscious. And this is the same for you guys. You have to be really conscious about the things that you can and can't do, and come to terms and make peace with the things that you can't do, so that you can move on and really have an impact in the place that you can. Like, I can't help those people because they don't want my help. I got to let that go, because you guys do want my help. So why am I going to spend my effort there? Why would I spend 5 minutes on the person who doesn't want my help when Cindy or Sherry, you want my help, right? So of course I'm going to come help you. I don't want to spend my time there. And it made me feel very not good, but I had to be, these are the choices you've got to make for yourself too, right? And they're uncomfortable choices. But the important thing, and why I'm sharing this with you, is because you're going to come to face with these exact same decisions. It doesn't make you a bad person. Okay. And I know that me saying that doesn't matter so much, but I want you to know that in my opinion, at least in the work that I've done, it doesn't make you a bad person. It means you're setting boundaries so that you can help serve the people that are most important to you, and that someone else will serve those people. They will find their people. Alrighty. Dude, we are all defying odds. I got to tell you, the strength that I get from my community, from you guys, not just in the Stop Shitting All Over Yourself Out public, but in the squad, you are my inspiration. I see the hard things that you overcome every day. And I get up in the morning for you because, well, for me too, but also for you, because you get up in the morning. We all get up in the morning together. And I know how hard it is for all of you. Deb, I know your knees hurt. Oh my God. Marlene, I know you're in agony. Jessica, I know you have all this shit going on in your life, but you get up every day, every single day. And we all do it together, right? And that's what makes this so special, I think, this community, is that we lean on each other a lot for support. Not necessarily, like, I don't call Jess and say, Jess, I need your support. But I know we're all out there doing it together. And that makes me feel like I'm not alone. It's a bigger pillar. It's a bigger pillar, okay? Alrighty, I'm working on relaunching my business as I speak, and will be doing this after my son's election and his wedding. Oh my God, your son has a very busy time coming up. I'm going slow and steady. Don't want to rush it. I love you so much, Deb. Love you. You are totally my person. And I've always known that from the first day I've seen you live on Facebook. And that's why I'm so, oh, by the way, I want to show you guys this. My hair will now stand up on its own. I don't even have gel in it, but it's hard to, there you go. I was able to make it stand up by itself, and it was not anymore. Okay, well, whatever. I was able to make it very punk rock yesterday and look like a flock of seagulls. This meditation came to mind. Jess, can you do me a huge favor? Can you PM me that? I wanna post it out on the thingy. All right. I had tried several direct sales companies. I never made a profit. Part of it was I didn't want to work that hard, but I think it was really that I wasn't passionate about what I was doing. I'm working harder, doing things I've never done, and I will not give up because I know this is my calling. Exactly. Steady. And you know what? And I see what you're doing, right? The work that you're doing, and I can feel I feel your future, like so many big things. And I think that's the thing, is I feel so many big things for so many of you and so many of my clients too. And here's the thing that I often see people giving up right before they're about to succeed, because once you've done this long enough, you can start to tell when people are just about to cross over, like within a few months. And most people quit doing whatever the thing is that they're doing right before it's about to show them results. Like right before your email is about to show results is usually when you'll quit doing it. And I have done that so many times myself and seen so many people do it that I'm like, oh my God, like you were so close, right? Because they'll come to me and they'll be like, I did all this thing. And I'm like, oh dude, you were this close. You were this close, right? Because what we think we're looking for, we don't know what the signposts are to tell us that we're doing something right. And that's where a lot of these problems come from. Love that. Okay. Oh yeah, Elisa, you made a really good point here. And I actually have been contemplating this a lot. So I don't talk about it yet because I'm not really sure I understand how it fits in, but I think it's very important. Elisa says, I have a partner who is in alignment with my life views. Yes, that is invaluable. And I have not yet spent enough time contemplating exactly the impact that has had, but it is on my list of things to do, because I do feel like that's an element of privilege. And I don't want to discount that as a pillar, but I also want to be able to find, once I figure out what roles he plays as my support partner, it will give me the ability to recognize what those signs are. And then I can translate it into, okay, maybe you don't have a partner who supports you the way that I do, my partner does, but here are other things that you can do that will help to create some of that support. So you're absolutely right. I haven't taught on it yet because I'm not entirely sure. I'm still working my way through it. More to come on that, but yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, getting yourself healthy makes you a better mom. Absolutely better friend, better wife, better everything. It makes you better everything. Sophia says the amount of content and support you provide is worth thousands more than you charge. You're authentic in your efforts to help others find their own success. Thank you. Whew. God, why am I so emotional? It's because I'm moving in a couple of days, or maybe I'm just an emotional person. I used to want to be a sex therapist. That's what I wanted. So I don't want to I don't want to become a therapist. Like, I don't want to have to go to school for that. But because of my upbringing and because of my personal sexual life, I am going to be really good at that. Like, really good at that. And I recognize that what I'm learning right now is going to just help me when I move into that next phase. So probably, like, I'm thinking maybe in my 50s, that might be an area where I might want to go into, because I really want to work about, like, older women's sexual health. Like, so excited. Like, older women me. Like enjoying sex and like kinks and things. Oh, so much fun. But that's for later. Okay. So Susan, I wish I could tell you what episode we're actually on, but let me be honest with you about how I'm doing this. Remember how I said everything takes longer than you think? For years, I've tried to get a podcast off the ground and have it run properly and have it be perfect and everything, and it just wasn't happening. Okay. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this differently. I'm just going to live stream it, and then I'm going to forget about it. So I forget about it. And then Laura comes in, takes it, downloads it, makes it into a podcast, and does there it is. So I really should know the answer to this, but I don't. So I apologize profusely for not knowing the answer to this. I believe we are on episode 5, but the fact that you're asking me that makes me really excited, because it means it's something that I need to know. I just never thought anybody would ask me that question. So I'm super excited. So I promise I'll know the answer next week. But thanks for asking. So if you sign up to the Hustle Proof Your Life Challenge, you'll get a set of emails that actually says email me. So that'll be there. However, if at any time you want to email me, you can always email me at me@manessa.com. Just go ahead and send me an email anytime. I try to respond to every email that I get, but with the move and stuff, I'll be really honest. I think I'm all caught up now, but I was behind about like 2 or 3 weeks. So I may fall very behind over the next month or so, but I don't remove anything from my email until I've responded to it or I've sent it to Christy. So one way or another, you will get supported. I want to give you that fair warning with the move and everything being crazy. I have no idea what my next couple of weeks are going to look like. I signed up for a coach with LinkedIn. He's all about cold messaging. I'm like, ugh, exactly. Like, I had somebody message me like that, and he's like, let's set up a time. And I'm like, I don't want to set up a time with you. I don't know who you are. You just sent me a message and saying set up a time. My half hour is valuable, dude. Why am I going to spend it with you? Especially since I'm okay. Don't cold message people, guys. Don't do it. Nobody likes to get them. They're so annoying. They're really annoying, and it's off-putting. And like, it's off-putting so much. Like, I had somebody message me a while back. Like, I think getting old is sexy as hell. I love getting older. I love the scars. I love the tattoos. I love the wrinkles. I love the spots. I love the skin change. I love everything. I am aging, and I am becoming an amazing, more and more amazing version of myself every single day. And I love it, right? I got a message from somebody. Hey girl, hey, you can reverse the signs of aging and stop your aging and hide those ugly wrinkles. And I wrote back to her and I said, do you even know me? Like, this sentence is so offensive to me in every possible way. There's nothing ugly about a single wrinkle on my body. I'm gorgeous. Everyone with wrinkles is gorgeous. Like, you have earned every wrinkle. You have earned every scar. It tells a story of your life. You're beautiful. What the hell are you sending me that for, telling me that I'm ugly and need to, like, she didn't say I was ugly, but that's not cool. Don't do that. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Kind of super excited for this sexual. Well, some people in the squad have already gotten the benefit of some of my sexual health advice. And hey, I'm just going to tell you, if you are a woman who would like some guidance in that area, I got your back, yo. Just send me a message. I got you. Okay, Dr. Dude, I want to be like Dr. Ruth. I so do. I want to sit and just, you ask me your dirtiest, filthiest questions, and I will answer them because literally I have no shame. None whatsoever. I will answer everything. Dude, all about... Well, so for me though, Patricia, it was more about, imagine, like, you don't know the person on the other end, right? So if you're cold messaging them, you have no idea what you're actually saying, right? So she may have thought she was doing me a favor, right? So somebody on the other end, like, or just at least look at my profile to find out how I feel about it, right? Like, that's the key there, is that cold messaging, most people just send it to like 5-10 people on their list, and that also hurts you on Facebook. Ugh. So if you're in the squad, by the way, don't forget to jump in. There's a post I made yesterday about the quiz. So we have a quiz in the squad about how to certify Facebook jail-proof your business. And I talk about all of those cold messaging things. So if you are in the squad, make sure that you take the quiz. It's on the wall right now, and that'll help you. And if you're not in the squad, make sure that you get on the squad waiting list, socialstrategysquad.com. Get on the waiting list. The doors open in April, I believe. But, you know... you never know if we might have like a special door opening at some point in the future. I don't know. Anyway, okay. I hate getting those emails about chatting about my website. Oh my God, I know, right? Haley, those drive me insane. Okay, so it's so assuming to send messages like that. I hate getting emails. Yeah, exactly. Me too. Absolutely. Maybe you need to add a secret second hour of chasing Momoa. Yes, and I think that's an apt name for it, right? Chasing Momoa, the sex therapy edition. Okay, so the website. So Sherry, no problem. It is the socialstrategysquad.com. Give me a sec. I'm gonna do something for you. There you go. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay, that didn't work. All right. It's socialstrategysquad.com. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it differently. Oh, look at me being so smart. I'm so smart. Okay. New text. There we go. Add source. And this one will be... Okay. There we go. So you can go there to get on the wait list. It's closed right now, but feel free. So if you're in the squad right now, go ahead and take the quiz. If you're not in the squad right now, then join the waiting list so that you can get in the squad when the doors open. Okay. Oh my God, I've kept you guys here. So, oh, look at that. It's showing up as a little comment. Can I just tell you, I'm just so obsessed with these comments. Okay, guys, I've kept you longer than I expected, but this was a great conversation. You guys had great questions, great feedback. So, I'm going to talk to Laura today and find out, Sherry, for you about the podcast and get all that information because I'm just so excited that you asked. Like, honestly, you just made my day. So what is happening today? Nothing else is happening today. Tomorrow, I am packing my pod. The day after tomorrow, we're moving. So I'm going to be sharing all this stuff on social media. Feel free to follow me on Facebook. My personal profile, friend me. Totally great. Just don't send me any hate girl messages. We'll be fine. All right. Have a